it's Ivy Slater, and you're listening to Her Success Story podcast, a show where gutsy businesswomen share their success journey. Hi, this is Ivy Slater. Welcome to today's episode of Her Success Story. For those of you who are regular followers, we have just concluded a series on women leaders in the law. It has been a great series. This is the second time we have done that in the history of Her Success Story. And this was an outstanding series. It was done in conjunction with the Women-Owned Law Symposium that went on in April of this year of 2023. We highlighted speakers from different areas of practice, different types of law firms, and different journeys. So if you want to re-listen or have not caught all of them, please feel free and go check that out. Today is what we call a content episode. It's when you get me, Ivy Slater. And this is what I thought I'd share with you today. A tip for how to handle all the no's that come along with the yeses. So for those of you who don't know, I have just completed doing a TED Talk last month, and it was about a 15 plus month journey of me making a decision and saying, okay, I've applied to a few TEDx talks in my lifetime. And I've gotten no's and I've just moved on, and that's been that. And I said, probably around the fall of 2021, I said, okay, if this is something I want to be serious about and I want to achieve and make sure I get that under my belt, then I have to actually set a goal around it, set a plan around it, and be consistent in my actions. So a couple of things I did. I hired myself support. Somebody who knew a lot more about applying to TEDx talks than I did. Because before that, I was throwing some darts at a wall that did not have a dartboard. That helped me really focus in on my topic, focus in what a TEDx was, how to apply. And then I was held accountable of truly taking the actions, consistently applying to ones all over this country and some outside the country, mind you. And I got a series of no's, rejections. No, we're not interested. Thank you for applying. Please feel free to apply again. I appreciate the application, all of the above. But we were consistent in getting no's. And it's very easy to stop when that happens. It's very easy to say, this isn't something I really needed to do. This wasn't something I needed to do for my business, my career, but it was something that was important to me. So I let the no's roll off my shoulder. Maybe it was the dancer in me when I was young and all the times I auditioned and didn't get something. Maybe it was the early salesperson in me who had many, many doors closed in her face. In the 80s and 90s, when I was selling printing and people did not really want to deal with women, the advertising agencies, the people who I wanted as clients, the companies I wanted as clients, that they were just not there. So I kept showing up then, and I said, you know what? This is something that's important to me, and I'm going to stay at it. And I did. And nobody can be more shocked than I was when I got an email not that long ago and said I was invited to a Zoom meeting to discuss the potential of being a TEDx speaker for TEDx Deer Park. I was floored. I was sure they had the wrong email address. I didn't tell anybody. I just kept rereading it for several hours. Then I went back to the person I was working with. I said, is this for real? Like, could this be happening? And they're like, yeah, say yes to the meeting, Ivy. And I did. And in that meeting, again, I prepped, I prepared. We have to realize, going back to the early years of dance, of how much time done in preparation of every performance, every show, every sales call, the research we do around companies, the amount of legwork, knowledge work we put in. And I did that. And I showed up for that meeting prepared. I had a space that was quiet. I prepared what I was going to say. I reviewed their other TEDx's prior. I prepared and prepped myself. And when that yes came through a few days later, with, mind you, about 2+ weeks to prepare for the TEDx, I knew I was ready. So the lessons of today: no is a 2-letter word. We can get through 2 letters easily. Don't let the no's in life stop you from what you truly desire to achieve in this world. Know that when you paint a vision, when you paint a picture for that vision, whether you're a person who does a vision board, whether you write out your goals, whether you do both, whether you talk things out, whatever your process is, and I endorse them all, create your vision. Don't play small. It would have been very easy for me to just take the no's and move on after a year and not continue to 15, 16 months of no's. Stay in the game. The yes, when it's important to you, is something you continue to show up for. When something is important to you, you continue to do everything that's possible to achieve it. Say yes to help and support. When I shared with somebody that I got the acceptance, they said, "Are you open to help with this?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "I help prepare speakers for TEDx's all the time." I said, "Oh." She goes, "I'd really be honored if you let me just help you. You have 2 weeks." And I just said, yes. When yeses are presented to you, step in them with 2 feet and your whole body. Embrace that yes and take the actions. As a dancer, you think I would have loved going to rehearsals, to learning the next steps, to practicing those steps over and over and over again, and making sure they stay fresh. It's not always an easy feat. And in preparing for the TEDx, it was not an easy feat to keep practicing and rehearsing. It is an important piece. Practice, practice, practice. And don't think I'm going to say practice until it's perfect, because I do not believe in perfect. I believe in practicing until your body knows something, until it's in you from your gut forward. And then you step in and deliver it. With that, I invite you to step into your brilliance, step into your power, create your vision, and step into it. And never, ever, ever let the gut no's stop you. Thanks for joining me for today's content episode of Her Success Story. For those listeners who took something away, take a moment and write that down. Put it in the show notes and let me know what was most helpful to you in hearing this today. And most importantly, what action you're going to take from doing that. To your success, I look forward to seeing you as we jump back into great interviews next week. See you next time.